Hello guys, this is Amosdoll Music, and in today's lesson this will be a Music Theory 101 crash course. This video is made for literally anyone, even with no music experience at all, because this lesson will be breaking down all the concepts in a very simple manner, such as like alphabets and numbers, where everyone kind of understands those terms. I won't be doing much of the musical jargon in this video, so if you're into the more detailed musical jargon, this video is not it. I'll be teaching it in my other videos and courses, okay? But anyway, so here's a summary of this video. I'll be firstly teaching you all the piano notes using my best method that allow you to learn it extremely quickly, and then I'll be teaching you how song melody and chords are formed from scales, and I have a special trick for scales as well, a specific formula that you can work out every single major scale. More on that later. And then I'll be teaching you the chords based on the scale as well. Very easy formula to work out all the chords from the particular scale as well. And then I'll be teaching you how music, rhythm, and how to count as well. Okay, so a lot of awesome content coming up, so make sure to keep watching. Okay, so here we go. Let's start off by teaching you all the piano notes using this very easy to recognize pattern on the piano. Okay, firstly, let's look at the black keys. You can see it follows a very easy to recognize distinct pattern of 3 black keys, a group of 3 black keys, okay? And then you can see it's like kind of like a space in between, and then it goes group of 2 black keys. And then there's another space between, and then it alternates back to the group of 3 black keys. Space, and then you can see 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3 2 3. It's always this pattern for all pianos. So have a look at your own piano and recognize that. Maybe like touch the 3 black keys and then go to 2 3 2 3 2 2. Get used to the layout of the piano. Okay, now find the group of 2 black keys near the middle of your piano. Okay, the middle of the piano is almost always near like the logo, piano logo, or the keyboard logo. Okay, so you can see this is not this one because this is a group of 3 notes. Okay, not this one as well, group of 3 notes, so it's this one. All right, group of 2 black notes here, and then the white note to the left of the bottom, a group of 2 black notes, this one is middle C. All right, so have a try yourself. Find the middle C and press it on your piano. Okay, so this is C. Okay, so in music there are only 7 letters in the musical alphabet. Okay, so A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, makes sense. Okay, so since we already told you that this is C, the note C, middle C, the next white note above it would be the next letter in the alphabet. So after C would be D. Okay, so play with me and also say the letters out with me, because verbally and taking action to actually play something is the best way to learn. Okay, so the next white note above it would be E, and then it goes F, and then goes to G. But as we said, there's only 7 letters of the alphabet, right? This next note is not H, but it restarts back to A. All right, yep, so this is A, right? And then goes to B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it just keeps on cycling. So back to A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way up the piano like that. Okay, so do you follow that? If you do, let's continue on. Now you'll be wondering, okay, this is middle C, right? If we go down the piano, how do we work it out? Okay, very simple. We just go backwards in the alphabet. So since this is middle C that we told you, the white note below middle C would be the letter before C, which is B. Yes, and then the letter before B would be A. So the next note below it is A. And there's no letter before letter A, right? So remember we told you musical alphabet, there's only 7 musical letters, so we restart it backwards back to G, and then F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, just like that. And there you go. That's pretty much it. Okay, and then B, A, okay, to really finish off the piano. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's all the white notes of the piano. Now I want you to go ahead and do a simple exercise and play up and down the piano by verbally saying all the letters whilst you play it, okay, to get familiar with the piano. The easiest way is obviously going up the piano, because going up, you know it already because everyone sings the alphabet song in order, right? So A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, that's easy. But the challenge is you want to also go down the piano as well, because going down is probably the harder and the least common way to kind of like practice, because we don't really practice singing the alphabet backwards, okay? So good thing to start at the top, so C, B, A, G, F, E, D, 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 C, B, A. So do that for all the white notes going down the piano, okay? So first of all, just go up the piano. That's the easiest way to practice the beginning of it, and then do the downwards for the challenge of this exercise. All right, so pause the video and do this exercise before we move on to the next part of the video. Okay, now after you have learned all the white notes on the piano, we'll be teaching you all the black notes. It's very easy. It's about sharps and flats that you probably heard here and there across a lot of music tutorials online. Okay, so it's a very simple way to understand this. Okay, so sharps is basically the black note to the right of the previous white note. So for example, we have C, right? C sharp would be this note, because as you can see, C, right? The black note to the right of the white note here is this note. Okay, so this is C sharp. Okay, so likewise, if we want to work out G sharp, what would that be? Okay, you might pause the video and work that out yourself, but I'll tell you the answer now. So this is C, right? C, D, E, F, G. Okay, and then the black note to the right is not this note, it would be this note. Okay, so that's G sharp. Okay, so it's very simple. Do a exercise and verbally say out all the black notes, okay? In the terms of sharps, okay? So C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, and then C sharp, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, etc. So go up and down the piano and practice that in the terms of the sharps, okay? Now, you might be asking, what is flats? Okay, flats would be the opposite of what we just taught you. It would be the black note to the left of the previous note, okay? So if we want to find out what E flat is, so we find E, so this is C, right? So C, D, E. So as you can see, the black note to the left of this is E flat. Okay, simple like that. Okay, so say we want to work out A flat, you might pause the video and work it out for yourself. Okay, but I'll teach you now. So A would be, so since it's C, D, E, F, G, A. Okay, or you can do C, B, A, doesn't matter. But anyway, we'll go to this one. So this is A, right? So the black note to the left is not this note, it's this note. So this is A flat. Okay, so once again, do another exercise right now. Pause the video and go ahead, verbally play and say out all the flat notes, okay, which is D flat, E flat, G flat, A flat, B flat, D flat, E flat, G flat, A flat, B flat. Go up and down the piano and get familiar with the flat notes as well, okay? And that's it. You just learned all the black and white keys of the piano and really nailed it into your system by doing the exercises as well, okay? So great job. Let's move on to the next part of the video. Okay, so let's teach you about songs. Okay, so songs are mainly made of melody and chords. Okay, like most songs, unless you're talking about some artistic song that goes like random notes, modern type like songs. Okay, but let's ignore those. Okay, I'm going to explain to you what melody and chords are in a song without all the musical jargon and very difficult technical terms, because we don't want that. We want learning music to be very simple, especially for beginners, right? Okay, so to explain it in a very simple way, we're going to use a very simple song. So say Mary Had a Little Lamb. Most people know what that tune is. I'll give you a playthrough of that right now. All right, so what is a melody? So the melody is the main singing line on like for the song. So that would be the right hand that I just played, which is Mary had a little lamb, little lamb, little lamb. That line, all right? And then what would be the chords, okay? The chords are the harmony that kind of supports the melody. And in this case, I played it with the left hand, which is the... Yeah, very simple way to understand that, right? Okay, now, the melody by itself, played by itself, it's kind of boring by itself, right? And then also the chords. If it's played by itself, it doesn't really sound like a song. So that's why a song is formed with both the melody and chords, and together it sounds great. So this is an easy way to understand what melody and chords are for a song, okay? So obviously there's a lot more to this later on, a lot more advanced ways to turn a song even better by adding improvisations, but this is not the course of the video, because in order to really understand how improvisations work, it requires to master the knowledge of melody and chords, okay? So here's something that you can kind of look forward to later on when you truly understand how it kind of works. Everything seems pretty easy to add on top of, okay? You can add like decorations on top of your songs. Okay, give you an example, like Mary Had a Little Lamb, right? You can kind of change it up like this. Yeah, something like that, okay? Very fun stuff once you really understand how it works, okay? So that's pretty much it for the melody and chords of songs. Hope you understand the basic explanation of it, okay? That is not too confusing. But anyway, let's move on to the next part of this video, teaching you how melody notes are formed based on like the basic major scale that I'm going to teach you right now, okay? So there is a very, very easy to understand formula that you can apply to every single different key of a major scale. So right now, I'm going to teach you right now. The formula is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Okay, so you might be asking, what is a tone and what is a semitone? Very simple stuff. Okay, the best way to explain what a tone and what a semitone is by showing it to you in an example. Okay, so a tone above the note C is just 2 half steps above that note. So half step, which is D. So this means that D is 1 tone above C, okay? So if you ask what is a tone below C, it would be, you can see C is here, right? So half a step down here is B, another half step is B flat. Okay, so a tone below C is B flat. Simple as that. Okay, so can you guess what semitone is? I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and yes, you are correct. A semitone is just 1 half step difference. Okay, so a tone above C would just be C sharp. And then a tone below C is just B. And there you go. Okay, so if you want to familiarize yourself with what tone and semitone is, a mini exercise that you can do right now, just pick any notes, say the note, and then say to yourself, I want to work out the tone above this note. So say I picked A flat, right? Okay, I want to work out the tone above A flat, which is B flat. There we go. A tone below it is G flat or F sharp. Okay, and then a semitone above is A. There you go. And then semitone below is G. Okay, so do this mini exercise with a few keys to get used to the term tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, because this formula applies to all of the basic major scales in every single key. Okay, so really familiarize what a tone is and what a semitone is before using this formula. Okay, but anyways, let's get back to the formula. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Okay, this applies to the sequence of going upwards of the key. So for example, C major, basic major scale, will start on C. Now we apply the formula. Okay, so the first formula note is tone. So tone, That's the first formula note, which is D. And then the next is tone again, which is after this, you can see E. This is the next note in the formula. Okay, so we have from C we have tone, tone, and then afterwards is semitone, right? So semitone, you can see after E, half step upwards is F. Okay, are you following? And after the semitone, you see there is 3 tones. Okay, so the next note would be tone, and then we have tone again, right? So tone, we have third tone, so tone, and then the last you can see is semitone. So you can see half step above B is C. Okay, so it really just happens to be C major. The scale of C major is just all the white notes. And that's why we always demonstrate in C major, because it's the most simple to understand. Since everything is white notes, there's no like some of the notes is black notes, some of the notes is white notes, like that. Okay, so you can see. Okay. Okay. That is the C basic major scale. Okay, so now here's an exercise for you. Use this formula and work out every single possible major scale. Okay, so there's actually 12. Okay, so let's go. I'll go through an example right now. Let's just go one note above, which is C sharp. Okay, let's work out the C sharp major scale. So C sharp major scale starting on C sharp. So using tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, it will be like this. So tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. There you go, and that's the C sharp major scale. There you go. So the exercise for you right now, pause the video, work out every single major scale. Okay, say the notes with you as well, so the learning process will be a lot more efficient that way. Okay, so go ahead and practice that right now before moving on to the next part of the lesson. Okay, now let's teach you how song chords are formed. Okay, so in this lesson, we're not going to go through all the technical jargon of all the different names of chords like major, minor, diminished, suspension, augmented, all those kind of stuff. This video is not going to cover that. It will be covered in my other videos and in my course videos on my website. But anyways, we'll be covering it in the easiest way to understand, which is the chord numbers based on the scale that we taught you. Okay, so very simple. Let's use C major for example. So in the key of C, C major is like this, right? So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. Now we're going to apply numbers to the scale. So the first note would be 1. Second note would be 2, and then 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. And this is 1 again. Okay. So that's why we just have up to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So in order to teach you the basic chords formed by the basic major scale that we taught you, in this example, we're using C major. This is very easy to understand. Chord 1 would be the first note of the scale, in this case, C. Okay. And then all you need to do is skip 1 note of the scale. So the next note should be D, right? Okay. So we skip 1 note and play the next note, which is E in this case. And then we skip the next note in the scale and then play the next note. So these 3 notes form chord 1. Okay, pretty easy to understand. Now, guess what chord 2 is? Chord 2, we play the first note as the second note of a scale. So this is first note, second note. This would be chord 2's lowest note. And then we use the same concept. We skip the next note of the scale, and then we play this note. Skip the next note of a scale and then play the next note. So this is chord 2 of C major. Okay, so this is chord 2 of C major. So far we learned chord 1 is this and chord 2 is this. Okay, and then if you want to pause the video and work out chord 3, go ahead. Chord 3 would be this. Chord 4 would be this. Chord 5 of C major would be this. Chord 6 of C major would be this, and chord 7 of C major would be this. All right, pretty easy to understand, right? Okay, so this is the basic chords formed from the basic major scale. So now, since this is a C major demonstration, I I want you to do an exercise where you choose other major keys to use this chordal practice on, okay? So, for example, let's just go through quickly. Let's say we picked, say, F sharp major, okay? This is a lot more complicated major scale. So using the tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone example that we taught you earlier. Okay, so F sharp major will be played using the formula. So starting on F sharp, so tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So remembering the notes, chord 1 will be the first note. And the next note of the scale is this, right? But we skip it, right? And then we go to this note. Next note of the scale is this note, but we skip it, we go to this. So this is chord 1. And then as you go up, chord 2, starting on the second note, right? So the next note of the scale of F sharp major is this, but we skip it. We play this note. Next note of the scale is this, but we skip it. So this is chord 2. And then if you keep doing this, you'll find out chord 3 is this, chord 4 is this, chord 5, chord 6, chord 7. Okay, so this is a more difficult example, but go ahead, pause the video, do the exercise, and practice this for all the major scales that I taught you. Okay, now I'm going to teach you how music rhythm and counting works. Okay, so just like counting in real life, we count using numbers, right? So rhythm is just basically you keeping a beat by counting. Okay, depending on the song, most songs we count to 4, some songs we count to 3, sometimes we count to 2, some songs we count to 6, and some even 5 and 7 beats, but those are more obscure songs, and for the purpose of this lesson, we're going to keep everything simple and we're going to learn to count to 4. If you can count to 4, you can understand how rhythm and counting works. Okay, so let's jump right into it. Okay, so in order to count perfectly, you may have heard something called a metronome. Okay, a metronome is very simple. It's this device that gives you perfectly timed beats because it is counting in something called a beats per minute, BPM. So it gives you, like say like we turn the metronome to 60 BPM. What that means is 60 beats per minute. Okay, and that's really easy to understand if you do some quick maths. 60 beats per minute is literally just one beat, metronome beat. It's like tick, tick, like every second because there's 60 seconds in 1 minute. So that's what BPM is. So if it's 100 BPM, that will be 100 metronome ticks per minute. Okay, so obviously the higher the number, the faster it is, the lower the number, the slower the counting is. Okay, so get your metronome, whether it's on your keyboard or whether you have a real metronome. If you don't even have a metronome, don't worry. If you have a phone or computer that has speakers, just search up metronome and you can find one online and do this exercise with me. So right now I just set my metronome to 60 BPM, which is 60 beats per minute, which is 1 beat per second. Okay, so I can turn it on. You can hear a ticking noise, right? Okay, so what this ticking noise means, it's helping you count exactly 1 beat per second. So what you want to do for this exercise, we're counting to 4. So you want to match up each of the numbers exactly to each tick. Okay, so feel the beat in your head and count. Ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Have a try yourself. Okay, now there's something called subdivision of beats as well because sometimes the notes lie in between the beats. Okay, so some people use 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but I actually prefer to use like subdivide it into numbers as well. So say 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, where the other numbers are the subdivided beats. Okay, so for example, will you turn on this metronome again? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then subdivide. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. Okay, yeah. Some people subdivide to fours as 1E and that kind of way. So they say 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and. But as I said, I prefer using the subdivided numbers. So I would do something like this. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so that's a subdivision of 4s. So you're subdividing like the beats from the main beats into 4 other smaller beats. Okay, so yeah, I like counting these numbers because you can also subdivide in 3s as well. But if you do the 1E and it's a bit more confusing that way. So to subdivide in groups of 3s, it will be simply like this. Okay, ready? Let's count normally first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay, so what I want you to do for this particular exercise, I want you to go ahead and get your metronome and go ahead firstly, count in terms of the normal beats, just one number per tick of the metronome. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for each particular musical metronome tick. Okay, and then subdivide it to 2s. So 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2. Okay, and then subdivide to 3. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, and then subdivide to 4s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and not necessary to really subdivide to 5s because crazy madman would actually like play in quintuplets. Okay, the 5 subdivided notes. Okay, so don't worry about that. So practice from 1 and then subdivide to 2 and then 3 and subdivide to 4. Okay, then afterwards, extension exercise that you can do is probably apply it to notes. Okay, so just say like you playing a C note. Okay, or you can do a chord. Okay, you can do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that kind of thing. Okay, so actually apply it to notes, or even do it to like a particular like scale. You can be like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, and then you can do 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 2, or and then you go 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, like that. Or you can do the subdivided of 4s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, like that. Okay, so yeah, apply it to notes because there's no point just counting verbally. Well, I guess there is. At the start, count verbally, understand how counting in music works, and then apply it physically into something. Okay, so yeah, practice that exercise and have fun with it before moving on to the final part of the lesson. Okay, so for this final exercise, we're going to combine everything that we've learned and apply it into this particular exercise. Okay, because what good would it be if you learn all this musical theory but don't know how to apply it at all? Okay, that's useless and that's not how learning works. So let's get right into this final exercise, which is actually composing your own song. You might be saying to me, Amosdoll, this is my first lesson with you and you're getting me to compose already, but don't worry, I'll guide you step by step. It's not that difficult at all. So first step, we are going to develop a 4-chord progression, okay, based on the C major scale. Chord 1 would be this, chord 2 is this, chord 3, chord 4, chord 5, chord 6, chord 7. But for this exercise, just try not to use chord 7 because you have to kind of like use it in another way to make it sound good. So don't worry about chord 7, use chords from 1 to 6, okay? For this purpose of the exercise, I'll give you the progression right now, but afterwards you can actually experiment and go with different chords, okay? So we're gonna use a really universal and like typical chord progression called the 1, 5, 6, 4 chord progression, which is used in a lot of pop songs. If you like try it out with other keys, you can figure out that, wow, this chord progression is in this song, is in that song, okay? But anyways, so chord 1 is this, 5, 6, 4. So get used to this chord progression by playing it a few times. Okay, so once you got this familiar with your left hand, okay, now the right hand is the melody, right? Okay, what I want you to do is just use random notes of the C major scale to play around and make the melody. There's no right or wrong, and play it with the chords, okay? So before we actually play the melody, I actually want you to get you to count the chords properly as well, because if you can't count it properly and don't do the proper rhythm, it won't sound that good because it sounds like everything is off time. So for each chord, I want you to play and count to 4 each. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So hold each chord for 4 counts. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And play this a few times, counting perfect rhythm. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then just play notes from the C major scale. See? You're actually making your song ready. There's no right or wrong. Because the notes are from this scale, and so are the chord progression. That's why it sounds correct. And it's just really that easy to make a song. And go ahead and just keep experimenting. Yeah, and sometimes you can do it faster. Just have a lot of fun like that. Okay, so yeah, really awesome stuff. Something so simple like that, you can really just play around like for hours and hours because it's pretty much unlimited possibilities. You can change up the rhythm for your left hand. You can add like different I guess patterns to the left hand and also the right hand. Okay, so even something simple like this, you can actually play something like this later on, just giving you like kind of like inspiration for what you can do later on as well once you really master all these skills. Okay, so even for this chord progression, you can make something like beautiful like this. Yeah, that was actually improvisation. It was made up completely on the spot, but still based on the melody and chords of that particular 1, 5, 6, 4 progression. So that just demonstrates how many possibilities and variations you can do just by understanding the foundations and fundamentals. Okay, so this is really basic stuff. If you want to learn more about like more complicated stuff, there's other videos and also my piano courses on my website, bestpianomethod.com. I hope you understand the fundamentals of music theory in this particular video. By the way, you must do all the exercises in this video. Maybe like you can do it like one exercise each day or maybe 2, depending on the time that you have. But yeah, remember, exercises and action is the only way to really remember what you have learned. Okay, so do that. Enjoy your time around my channel. And as for now, see you next time. If you enjoyed this lesson, make sure to check out the rest of my channel because literally there are multiple thousands and thousands of these videos ranging from pop songs of all languages, meme songs, video game music, movie, anime, and cartoon theme songs, and many more songs of all sorts that I teach. So most likely you can find your favorite song to learn on my channel. Also check out my website, bestpianomethod.com, linked in the description below if you want to learn more piano from me. Learn from my piano courses on how to play by ear, improvise, read sheet music, how to play and sing, and many more courses at all types of levels, even for those who have never touched a piano before. As for now, enjoy your time around my channel and see you next time.